Well, hi guys, exciting times. I'm on my way to Teakettle, one of our syndicates. Never fished it before, never even walked around it. So it's going to be a experience for me. Really looking forward to it actually. Heard great things about the place and some of the fish in there are absolutely stunning. So my plan is to go up there. I've got a little bit of information, not too much, because I like to fish how I like to fish. I don't want to go up there with preconceived ideas of where to fish and what methods to use. I do like to, I wouldn't say struggle my way through, but use methods that I'm confident with. So yeah, I'm not too far away. I've finished work at 2 o'clock, got on the road straight from work, and I'm now in Peterborough. I live in Bedfordshire, so a little bit of a journey for me into Cambridgeshire and then out into the fens. But yeah, really looking forward to it. Got bait. I've had some bait and soak. Excuse me. I've had some bait and soak for the last 48 hours with glug, so they're nice and smelly now. I'm a bit of a boilie angler, to be honest, although I have got some hemp and a few pellets with me just in case I fancy a little bit different. And from what I've heard, they do like a bit of, they do get quite close in the edge as well, so it's always worth putting in a little bit of a bit of sweet corn, a bit of hemp, a bit of pellet in the edges, just in case you get them mooching around close in. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm probably about half an hour away from the place, depending on traffic, but yeah, once I get there I will keep you posted and hopefully have a few fish to show you over the weekend. Yeah, well, it's the morning after the night before. I got here in reasonable time. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to do any filming yesterday, purely because it's like the first time to a new lake. Just walking around, trying to find fish. Just didn't have the time. Lucky enough, I found quite a few showing in front of swim 10, which is where I'm set up now. It's on the back of the wind as well. It's temperatures turned quite cold over the last couple of days, and the wind chill, we're getting that back end of the storm that they had over in America, and snow and stuff. Obviously we haven't had the snow thankfully, but yeah, the wind chill factor has definitely dropped the temperature down a little bit. I did walk round onto the tooth of the wind, and to be honest, it was bloody cold stood there. Not only that, if I'd set up there I would have had to have the brolly, with the back facing the water, which I can't have, not on my first session on a new lake. I need to be watching what's going on. I need to have a good scope. So the fish are actually quite kind to me and showed themselves in front of swim 10. So I've actually got the wind coming from behind me. It's still relatively weedy out there. There's a lot of sort of blanket weed to contend with, and the way that wind was blowing yesterday, it was difficult to feel a drop on the marker rod. Found some nicer areas, which I've obviously got my baits on now. One particular area that it landed with a crack, so I'm pretty confident with that rod. It's a bit strange for me on this session because I'm using mono, and I don't normally use mono. I use braid as a main line, but the rules on here state that you have to use mono, which you have to abide by the rules. So it's all a bit alien to me because monofilament just feels like a big elastic band, so I can't get the feel through the rod like I can do on a marker rod or my normal fishing rods when I'm using braid. However, it felt right when it landed, as right as it can do. There might be something I'll be swapping over to now and using it more often. There is quite a few waters that ban braid now, but I think that's purely because of inexperienced anglers using it. But yeah, so the rods are out. So I'm in swim 10.
swing the camera around. Yeah, so this is peg 10 on whittlemere. Yeah, 3 rods out. There's a nice little bay to my left with another peg in it. Sort of on the back of the wind as well, obviously. It's still got a bit of a ripple in there. Might keep an eye on that later today. If this cloud clears, then we may get the opportunity of having a look in there, because if I've got my navigational skills right, my directional skills, the sun, when it comes up, it should be sort of shining in there for most of the day. So I can imagine if it does warm up a few degrees and it's a bit brighter, there's every chance they're going to be in there. But yeah, as it goes into the bay just over there, I've got 1 rod, probably about 12 foot off the reeds. Again, relatively clear. A few strands of Canadian around there, but a lot of blanket weed, but I can deal with that, that's not a problem. And then I've got another rod just where that coot is. It's been obviously feeding on my boilies. That's the middle. And then my right hand rod I've just chucked down the edge. Something turned under the surface yesterday, sort of late afternoon, which there's every chance it could have been a pike, I don't know, but it was getting sort of quite dusk. It's like other members come round. Dan Sager he turned up, so I stood chatting with him for the best part of an hour, which sort of put me on the back foot a little bit. But yeah, nothing to report as yet. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, bait wise I've got a nut job over there, just with a stick mix, new one that I'm trying with the 10mm nut job bottom bait with a what have I got on that one? A Stella Yellow, 10mm Stella Yellow pop up, so sort of fish snowman style. Put a few catapults full of 10mm and a few 15s over there. The middle rod, I've got the relish on that one. I love that bait. It just smells lovely, it's nice and soft, it breaks down. This time of year the fish don't want to be crunching through sort of hard boilies. The softer they are, the better. Also the nut job that I put out on my left hand rod over there, that's been soaking in water for the last sort of 48 hours. Got a good helping of the glug in that as well, the nut job glug. So they've taken on the flavour, and again they're nice and soft. So yeah, I've got the relish on the middle rod, and then nut job again down in the margins. I was seeing a fish this morning, not that far away from the area where middle rod is. I saw probably a good 5 or 6 shows yesterday afternoon when I got down, so I think they're sitting on the back of it. Might just be a little bit too cold for them over that far side. Give Dan his dues, he's going to set up in 14, which is over in that far corner, and he had the wind smashing at him all night. A couple of times I had to hold on to my brolly last night, and I've got the wind blowing from behind. Wind swung slightly now westerly, so it's not as bad blowing at him, but yeah, it's still heading in that direction. But we'll see. I'm going to have a reel in around lunchtime, if nothing occurs prior to that, and have a good look round. So yesterday I was in a bit of a rush to set up, so I didn't really have a good nose around the lake. A few other members have turned up now. I think there's another 2 possibly in 7 and 8, which is round to my right. Dan, I'd say he's in 14, his brother-in-law, I believe it is, he's in 13. And then there is somebody down in the other part of the lake, which to be honest I haven't even looked around yet. So yeah, we shall see what happens. Well, I've managed to have one, a 16.5 mirror on the left hand rod. I'll put a picture up now. I keep forgetting to film it when I have them. I'll just get some photographs done and get it back. But yeah, it was say left hand rod, about 8 AM. A couple of bleeps, watched the line, pulled up tight. Give me a bit of a tussle, not much. It had gone through some weed, so the angle of the rod was sort of a totally different angle to where it should be. So I had to pull it back through that, and then lucky enough there was another member on hand to sort of give me a hand with it. I generally net my own fish. The only person I really trust to net them for me is my dad, purely because I had somebody knock off a big fish a few years ago now, but I blamed him for that, and it weren't fair on him. So if I knock him off, it's my fault. Well, if my dad does, well, I'm not going to really fall out with him. Might have the hump with him for a little while, but yeah. So anyway, he ended up getting hold of my rod, and I hand lined it only from under the rod tip, dragged it over the net. Yeah, 16.5 pound mirror. So it's always nice to get off the mark on a new lake. You're sort of doing it right. Again, it's a left hand rod, close to the reeds, on the nut job. So that's back out there now. I've just found another spot for my middle rod. I wasn't quite happy with it last night, but I'm happy with this one now. And I'm just toying with the idea what to do with the right hand rod, the one that's in the margins, because I've had no indication on that. That fish yesterday could well have been a pike. I'm just wondering whether just to stick one really tight to these reeds around my left. I had that fish from about 12 foot away. I'm just wondering whether they're coming in quite close to them reeds, because it comes out quite a distance. So I might just for the day stick it tight to that. Again, not sure what time bite time is here, so about 8 AM that one. I don't know if it's the day water or night water. So yeah, it's just a case of ringing the changes at the moment, but I'm not really happy with the right hand rod now. I might just put that in there against them reeds just for the day and see what happens. But yeah, I should keep you posted. If I have another one, I'll try and record it this time. As you can probably see, the rods have swung around a bit now. I've managed to find a nice area around to my left, really tight to the reeds as well. You know, it's in the lead's hitting the reeds. It's reasonably deep, it's about 4.5 foot, which I was quite surprised about. So, oh, be nice. I think that's just the wind. Yeah. The joys of fishing in the fens. But yeah, so I repositioned what was my right hand rod, which was down the right hand margin. I've now pinged that over to the left. It is in 11's water, but no one's in 11, so not that much of an issue. But of course, willing to move if anyone moves in there. I haven't seen anything for a while. I did see one show about half hour ago, but that was at quite a long range, so about halfway in between here and the far bank. I've got Steve Evans is coming down. He's the head bailiff on here. He's coming down for a brew, and he's going to have a bit of a walk around with me, show me what's what and where's where. Have a little bit more information. Be nice to have a catch up with him. But yeah, we'll just have to play it by ear and see what happens. Well, no sooner had I put the camera away, a fish crashed out. And guess where? Yeah, over top of the right hand spot that I put bait on last night. So needless to say, the rods have swung around again. Hop, skip and a jump over the bite alarm. So I've now got the rod that was tight to the reeds is now back in the right hand margin. Bloody typical. Now I'm really am in a dilemma what to do. I think I'm going to leave it there. I've seen fish now. That was definitely a carp, there's no two ways about it. I saw it come out. So yeah, that's staying put now, I think. Left hand rod is in the area I had the fish from this morning, and the middle rod's out in a little bit more of open water. 15, no, just short of 15 wraps, aiming towards the point. Yeah, so is what it is. Baits are out now again. got a little stick down that edge. What do we call it? With the new stick mix stuff. Little setup. I've got the. So yeah, this is the rig that I've been using. Just a D-rig on some fluorocarbon, 10mm nut job, and a 10mm stellar yellow. That's what I caught on. I've got one with a mulberry 10mm on out there at the moment as well, one close to the reeds. And then that's the stick with the new stick mix that I'm trying. Nothing any more technical than that. That's all I'm using. Pulled into there nicely because of the blanket weed. You know, at least I know the hook point's going to be okay. And then in my bucket, I've got a few rigs ready to go. There's another one with the well, that's a stinky pink on that one actually, thinking about it. But yeah, this is the new stick mix. Now I've put a few other bits in there as well. I've put some hemp in there and a few very small pellets as well. So that's that sort of size. Does want to clear up? Yeah. Micro pellets, what are they? 2mm pellet, something like that. You see the actual mix itself is full of all sorts of little bits and pieces. Crumbed up some nut job as well. That's gone in there. But yeah, you end up with a nice little package like that on the floor, on the deck of the lake, all ready to go. So yeah, got the rigs ready tied, so nice and quick. So if I catch a fish, new rig on, back out on the spot. And what a difference a few hours make. That wind's died back totally now. Looks like a different lake. Yeah, I just had a quick stroll around with Steve. Met up with Manx Si, hadn't seen him since the social last year, so that was nice. Popped to see the guys on the other bank as well. They're just doing a little bit of work over there, roping off a bit of the track where it's still wet, but it's looking like it's going to be opened. I would have thought by the time this video is on the page, it would have been opened. But yeah, so lots of back out. Still got two over on the reed line, over near the point where the coots are having a party at the moment, so I can't see me getting a bite off there for any time soon. Yeah, I'm still toying with the idea. I need to find another area for one of my rods. I've had a bit of a lead around, but there's still quite a lot of weed out there. I don't want to go too far forward because of mate who was in 13. There's been some fish showing just a little bit further than where I'm fishing with my right hand rod. So I might have another little bash around with a lead in a little while. Just see a fish bosh out in front of 8 as well. I don't intend to cast over there. So yeah, we'll wait and see what occurs. God, I love fishing in the fens. Yeah, let's just say that wind got up again last night and still is now. Nothing to report. I've kept hold of my brolly, which is the main thing. It's blowing an absolute hoolie now. Bloody hell. Yeah, nothing. I had fish showing in front of me last night. There was quite a few actually crashing around. I did eventually move that right hand rod over against the reeds. I just weren't happy with it down in that right hand margin. I made a bit of a silly mistake really. I put out some hemp down there, and of course the small fish had moved in on it, and then the pike was striking over the top of it, so that was just a big no-go. stupid thing about it, I had a conversation with Steve not a few hours prior to it on about particles and pellets on here, which sometimes just isn't one. Definitely not fishing over anyway. Okay for clearing areas, but not the best thing to use if you're fishing. But yeah, I've got a few hours left. Packing up about 10 o'clock. So I had that fish yesterday at about 8. So you never know, there's still a chance. So flip this camera around. Yeah, it's blowing an absolute what's out there at the moment. It's not constant, it's just the gusts are rather strong. Poor old Danny's still fishing over in 14. Well, I think he is. He's either in 14 or he's in the field behind, one or the other. But yeah, he got a bit hairy last night at one point. I was getting a little bit worried, but we survived. Everything seems still in the same place. I haven't lost any landing nets or unhooking mats and stuff like that, so it's not a bad thing. Well, just in case this is my last little bit of video, I've really enjoyed myself. It's a beautiful lake. I can't wait to see what it's like in the later spring, summertime. I can imagine this when it's got leaves on the trees and the reeds have turned green. You know, the little bays that you could go stalking in. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got a hell of a lot of weed, but it's got a little bit of everything else. It's a fantastic lake. It's just a shame it's, well, I live in Bedfordshire, so for me it's a little bit of a trek. Especially when I'm a weekend angler now. If I'm doing any sort of nights, because of my shifts, I can't really do quick overnights like some people can. And obviously coming up here, even if I could, it's a 50 odd mile journey, 100 mile round trip. Not the one for quick overnighters. But I shall be back. I shall be back.
Well, what an enjoyable 48 hours that was. Nothing else happened. Didn't catch anything else. Had that one yesterday morning. There was another one lost. Excuse my bouncing dice. There was another one lost from Peg 13 earlier, well, about 7 o'clock this morning. And that was it. There was fish showing. They're definitely waking up in there. Presuming they're clearing themselves of all the crap that builds up on them. That fish I had yesterday was full of leeches, so I can only imagine that's what they're doing. But if they're bouncing around, then they're burning energy. If they're burning energy, they become hungry. The weather's changing for the better now. We've got over 12 hours of light, which for me is the biggest trigger. Things are only going to get better. But yeah, really enjoyed myself. Good bunch of lads down there. Cracking venue. So looking forward to getting back down. Not sure when. Be a while yet. So it's just a little bit out of my way to nip down and do short sessions. So it'll be when I've got a weekend free. And I'll have the pooch with me as well. These were allowed dogs on there. I missed not taking her fishing with me. The lake I'm on at the moment, not allowed. But anyway, I'm blaring on. I want to concentrate on my journey home now. I've got another 45 miles just coming into Wilsey. But yeah, 45 miles till I get home. Nice Sunday roast today. But get out there and be lucky. Just remember, it's only fishing.